Alright, so I talk about politics and stuff kind of a lot on this channel. I make the videos talking about Biden and his lies. I'm not really talking about just debunking them. And I make other videos. I think I've made T4Cast before talking about this and such. But, I wanted to talk about it again. Kind of almost in the same context, but just like a summary, if you will. Because one thing I've been thinking about quite a bit recently, or not recently, but just this election cycle, is politics is, I don't know, it's gone very insane and off the rails, and just, the Democrats basically are extremely misleading. I feel like a lot of people that aren't like heavily into politics don't know anything other than what they see on the news and all that, on news networks. And I mean, you almost can't blame them, because you'd think you can trust your news networks. You know what I mean? You think, oh, well, they're a journalist, they should have some integrity and blah, blah, blah. But that's not how it is. Like, a lot of these mainstream networks are just Democrat-run propaganda machines. You know, like the debate. The debate that was with Kamala, that was on ABC, which is a huge Democrat-leaning corporation. So it's like everything was biased towards Kamala and against Trump. And so people that end up watching the debate and aren't really into politics, but just enough interest to watch the debate, they're going to watch that and think, oh, wow, Trump's an idiot and all this. He keeps getting fact-checked and all this. And then Kamala's going to spew her dumb lies, like talking about how the economy was terrible, you know, dropping off the aspect that it was because of COVID. And also her lies about how that's the worst economic cycle that we've had since the Great Depression, when literally Obama had a worse peak than Trump did. I think Obama's unemployment rate hit like 7.8%. Trump was like 6.8%. But okay, worst economics since the Great Depression. But see, people that aren't actively in politics enough, they're not going to know that. They're going to just hear that crap that Kamala says. They're going to see that the anchors keep fact-checking Trump, and they're going to think, oh, wow, Trump's a dickhead. Why would anybody want to vote for him? And then it's like the media also pushes these constant lies about Trump, about how he's the second coming of Hitler, and he's, you know, oh, if he takes over, if he gets elected, it's going to be the end of our democracy, and all this other nonsense. And it's like, again, these people just kind of get blindsided. But if you stop and think for a second, then you should be able to realize that you're being blindsided. But they don't, because again, they're not fully into it. They're just kind of casually into politics. Like, they're not like me, where I listen to it all day at work, and then I listen to it on my ride home from work, and sometimes on my ride into work, you know, so I'm very well versed on what's happening. They're just casual. But it's like, it's funny too, because when you talk about the threat to democracy and all this, but it's like, look what they just did. They want to call Trump a threat to democracy. First off, he was already president. So don't you think if he wanted to be a threat to democracy, he would have been? I mean, geez, there was the whole situation with him not trusting the election results and stuff from the last round. I mean, don't you think if he really was a threat, he would have done something to inhibit Biden from taking over or whatever? Like, it didn't happen. Don't try to make up weird, dumb lies. That's the other thing, though. That's what the Democrats do all the time. Make up weird, dumb lies about everything. The Russia stuff. Oh, he's a Russian puppet. Yet the irony is, who does Vladimir actually support? The Democrats. When Biden was in office, he kept saying that he would rather have he prefers Biden as president over Trump. Now with the new election cycle coming up, who does he say he supports? He supports Kamala. And it's like, why? Because he knows that they're weak. He knows that whatever he feels like doing, he'll be able to do with them in charge. Because, first off, look at Biden. He's basically a dead body. Well, who's he going to stop from doing anything? Nobody. He can't stop himself from pooping in his pants. Never mind another dictator from doing some heinous act. And then Kamala, she's half brain dead. Like, she's a weird form of brain dead. Biden really is brain dead. Kamala is, like, functioning brain. She just doesn't know how to use it. She knows how to say words, unlike Biden, but she doesn't know how to say them in a proper order, so she just ends up saying stuff that means absolutely nothing. Biden just says stuff that means nothing altogether. You know, his words are never mind. Where Kamala is the was, where, when, why, how, who, them, thus, thems, And you're like, what? Those are all words, but you didn't say anything. So, yeah, again, who is she going to stop for anything? Of course Putin's going to support that. Of course. He doesn't want somebody who's actually competent and will keep him in line like Trump would, who can actually form coherent sentences with proper words and all that. No, he wants the retard in office. But nope, they make up those lies. Oh, Trump's a Russian puppet. No, he's not. Putin wants nothing to do with him. If anything, I was gonna say he wants to wiggle into your party to make you his puppets, but then I was like, wait, no, you basically accidentally are his puppets once you get into Democrats. They're basically accidentally his puppets because they're weak, so he can do whatever he wants, same as if he did have a puppet. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then it just goes to the democracy stuff, like I was saying. Look what they did recently with their party. Biden, he was the front runner. He regularly said that he wasn't dropping out. He wanted to run again for another term, this and that. And then what happens? They just oust him. You screwed up badly at the debate, which, I mean, he did because he can't think. So, of course, the debate was horrible for him. But, you know, they just go and kick him out. You know, no democratic practices there. And then they just randomly choose to install Kamala. You know? Don't have an actual election process like you should. Nope. But Trump's the threat to democracy, right? Okay, Democrats. It's also just gotten out of line, too, just with, like, personal ideologies. It's like Democrats are just extreme leftists now, and Republicans are normal people on the right. But it's so psychotic that people that normally wouldn't call themselves on the right are now considered on the right. Like I always say, Elon Musk, he used to consider himself slightly to the left. And then the left went kind of crazy, so then the meter moved, and he kind of got more close to the center. Still on the left, but very close to the center. And now the left is just absolutely insane, and so now Musk is basically on the right as much as he used to be on the left, you know what I mean? So, like, say from the center, he was 1 inch off on the left before, now he's 1 inch off on the right. He didn't move, it's just the target changed drastically. And it's just like, when you have these weird psychotic ideologies tied in directly to a party, and that party is one of the top 2, and it has to do with governing your country as a whole and stuff, it makes a really weird, bad situation. I mean, you get all these freaks that with their blue hair and their hairy armpits, but bald heads and all this nonsense, who are just all about abortion and, you know, being able to basically censor speech. That's another thing, too. I almost forgot. How the left is just so insane, and they claim that they support free speech, but then at the same time, they don't want to hear anything that anybody on the right has to say. Oh, we got to censor that. Oh, we should block that. It's kind of like recently there was a tweet from Elon, and what was it about? It had something to do with the assassination. Oh yeah, I think it was in regards to the assassination attempts of Trump. How there's been 2 now, and then he said something like, "How come this hasn't been happening to Biden?" Now, what he meant was, he didn't mean it like, oh, somebody should try to assassinate Biden. He meant it like, you know, kind of like the jokes on TikTok with the well, when a black guy's eating a watermelon or something. That was kind of like this, like, you know, you want to call Republicans the bad guys all the time, but look what's happening. Trump keeps getting shot at, and gee, I wonder by who. Oh yeah, weird extremist Democrats. But because he phrased it as, how come Biden's not getting shot at, everybody, you know, took that out of context and, oh, he should be deplatformed. He needs to be Secret Service at his house. He needs to this. He needs to that. And it's just like, oh, okay, so somebody says something that you don't agree with, though. I mean, that's how it always is. Maybe my example's a bit extreme, but all I'm trying to say is every time that somebody says something they don't agree with, they think, oh, you shouldn't be able to have any speech. Oh, it should just be us. They just want to live in an echo chamber. And it's like, well, hold on. Why is it that you think everyone should only hear what you think? You obviously don't like what people on the right think, but obviously those people on the right don't like what you think. But the difference is the people on the right are willing to hear what you have to say and debate it and tell you why what you think is dumb, but you don't want to do that. You want to just hear your dumb nonsense and think that that's the world, and if anybody says anything different, they're the bad guy, they need to be canceled, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just ridiculous. Then back to what I said before about the Trump assassination. Why do you think this keeps happening? Because of the left, the Democrat media. How they constantly keep just charging him up to be this terrible guy. The View, constantly talking crap about him, acting like he's so terrible. You know, a lot of major Democrats doing that all the time. I mean, it's so ridiculous, too, because it's to the point where he gets these assassination attempts against him, and then what does the leftist media do? They go and blame him for it. Like, it's his fault. Oh, well, you know, maybe if he wasn't building up this rhetoric with people, blah, 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 then he wouldn't have these attempts. And it's like, what? That's not the talking points you should be trying to employ. You need to be, like, trying to cool the waters. Right now, things are way too hot. That's why people are even more psychotic. Jeez, the left is, like, all psychos anyways. It's people that prior would have been in insane asylums, but since we don't have insane asylums anymore, these freaks are just walking around being absolute psychos in society, and everyone's supposed to just deal with it. You know? A guy wakes up one day and says, I'm a woman, and then goes and gets his dick cut off, and everyone's, oh my God, congratulations, you're a girl. Trans women are women. Ugh. And it's like, what? Are you dumb? What? It's even dumber when, like, an actual girl says that. Like, I saw that on the Whatever podcast. Actually, probably one of the most famous Whatever podcast episodes, because that's the one that Gorlock was on. But there's that one girl that's sitting in, like, the chair closest to the cameras, and she's all bent out of shape because one of the guys that's the host of the Whatever podcast said that, you know, trans women aren't women, they're men. And she's getting all bent out of shape. Oh, I can't believe this. I'm going to have to leave the room. Trans women are women. And it's like, why would you ardently argue that? You actually are a woman. You actually are a natural-born female. Why are you arguing so hardcore for a guy to pretend he's a woman? That's so dumb. It makes no sense. What's even dumber is I bet you this girl was like I was going to say was, but probably is a feminist too. And yet she's out here arguing that a man is a woman. And seriously too, to the point that she's getting so bent out of shape that she has to leave the I was going to say interview. It's not really an interview. It's just the conversation, I guess. Yeah, she has to leave the conversation because she can't handle that you would call a trans woman a man. And it's just like, what? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Just like, you know, these people, what was it that I was reading recently? I think it was talking about Chris from Mr. Beast's group. And they were all like, oh, yeah, Chris is transgender, blah, blah, blah. And then they go and call him she. You know he's not a she. Don't say she. Oh, well, she, blah, blah. Okay, yep, she. Nice dick. Nice dick, girl. I'm trying to make a joke here, and it's coming out terrible. But, you know, it's like, you know she's not... Oh, well, that sounds stupid now, but you know she's not a she. You know Chris is a guy. He's been a guy. It's video evidence, documentation in Mr. Beast's videos. You know he's a guy. He's also a father. But what, now he's a mother? Now he's a she just because he claims to be? And it's just psychotic. And anyways, again, though, it's tied into the parties now. Now that weird psychoness is tied into the Democrats. And then look what the Democrats are doing, too. They're trying to act like Trump would be so terrible to get back in office. Oh, our democracy's at stake. And they all keep saying there's so much work to do. And all I always think is, what do you mean so much work to do? Like, to further destroy the country? Is that what you're referencing? Because that's all you've been doing, is destroying this country. So unless the work you want to achieve is total destruction, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, because you've done enough bad. You don't need to do more. But that's your agenda. Oh, we should have wide open borders. And then, now there's a recent clip out of stupid Janet Yellen, what is she, the secretary of, I don't know, some kind of economic board thing. I forget exactly what her title is. She's, for the Fed or something, right? I don't know. Anyways, her dumb thing is, we can't deport illegals because they take up X amount of the workforce and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what? They're illegal, you idiot. Hello, it's right in the name. Illegal means law breaking, means bad, means get rid of it. You know, all those jobs anyways that are being filled by them could be filled by someone else. There's plenty of legals here. Like, how dumb do you have to be? Oh, we gotta keep them. Oh, okay. Cool. So now a country with no borders. That's weird. I'd never heard of that before. You know, I'm pretty sure every country always requires you have a passport and all this, but now all of a sudden I guess that's free reign. And then that's like the running joke that everyone talks about. They say, you know, maybe I should just leave the country, go to Mexico, try to gain some citizenship, and then come back, and then my life will be so much easier here because I'll get everything for free. I'll be able to jump the border. I'll be put on a bus, brought to wherever the heck I want to go. I'll be able to live off the government for free. I'll get a nice place. Even if it's just a hotel, I'll get a nice hotel for free for at least a year. I'll be living so much more large than I am now. Get a whole year off of work. Then when it is time for me to work, I'll probably have some kind of decent job ready for me to go because I'm an illegal and they got to take care of me instead of the actual natural-born citizens. And it's just like, you know, it's ridiculous, but that's how it is. But yeah, back to the whole actual politics, though, not this socioeconomic, but just the political. It's like they keep acting like Trump is so terrible, and it makes no sense because if you actually stop and listen to him, first off, all he wants to do is make sure the country's as awesome as it can be. That's all MAGA means. Make America great again. What is so bad about that? All these dumb Democrats and stuff act like it's some kind of horrible catchphrase. It's the end all of this country, and oh my God. You know, I saw something on Twitter, or X, I guess, that said, someday the red MAGA hat oh man, too much talking. The red MAGA hat will be associated with the likes of the Nazi swastika and the Confederate flag. And it's like, okay, first off, the Nazi swastika, that does have a strong reputation. You know, that's almost like saying the C word, or at least to me. You know, that word's just overly vulgar for no reason, and that's like a Nazi swastika. But the Confederate flag, I'm like, there's still love for that. There's people, you know, just because you're not from the South and you don't understand it doesn't mean that there's meaning to it. I mean, there's more than just racism or whatever built into that flag. And that's why it still has meaning to Southerners. But, yeah, anyways, the MAGA hat isn't going to mean anything negative like that because there's nothing wrong with Make America Great Again. It's, hey, I want my country to just be awesome and dominate. I want to make it so that everyone can have the American dream. There is no American dream. As long as I've been alive, there's no American dream. I always thought about, man, it must have been cool back in the day to be able to achieve that dream because it ain't a thing anymore. Now it's just a fantasy. Geez, at least a dream, you can achieve it. A fantasy, you know, it ain't real. Unicorns are a fantasy animal. Why? Because they're not real. You can dream about owning a horse someday, but the best you're going to get with the unicorn is fantasizing about it. And that's basically the American dream. It's now the American fantasy. So Trump's thing with MAGA is just to make it so that within that fantasy it becomes a dream. Demote it from its elusive status and make it a reality. Maybe even make it more than just a dream. Maybe make it the American future, you know, something that you know you're going to achieve. It's not even a dream anymore. It's, yeah, someday I'll have this and all of that. Someday I'll have a house and a couple of cars and a nice savings and all this. Yeah, someday I'll go on all these nice, cool vacations instead of I would like to go. Or, man, imagine if I went. You know, I don't know what's supposed to be so bad about that. And then, like, they always keep talking about all their dumb lies. Project 2025. Oh, Project 2025 and MAGA Republicans go hand in hand. And Project 2025 is so terrible. First off, when you really look at it, Project 2025 really isn't that bad. Some of the stuff is a bit extreme, kind of. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a bit much. But for the most part, majority of Project 2025 really isn't that bad if you look it over. And if you're not an absolute psycho who thinks, I need to get pregnant every day and abort the baby the very next day, every day. You know, if you're a normal person, though, 2025 is fine. But here's the other thing. Trump also has multiple times stated that he doesn't support Project 2025. He says he hasn't even read it. And he says, not only have I not read it, I don't want to read it. I don't care about it. It's not my agenda. It has nothing to do with me. I didn't sign off on it. I didn't write it. I didn't anything. He said this multiple times. He even said it in the debate. But what do these idiots do? Nope. Keep running with it. Keep acting like Project 2025 is his thing that he's trying to do. Keep acting like, he's signed off on it. He's supporting it. Ignore him outright at the debate when he tells you, nope, it's not what I'm about. I'm talking about Kamala here. Because there was one period where she brought up Project 2025. He said, no, I'm not about that. And then like 5 minutes later, she's saying, and his Project 2025 agenda. And it's like, bro, are you dumb? If I heard him say that, you're standing 5 feet away from him. You didn't hear him say, no, that's not my agenda? Like, how stupid do you have to be? But then again, it goes back to what I said in the beginning, how people just who aren't fully in politics will just eat that up. They hear it and they don't think, oh, I should listen to what Trump said. Because now they're so bombarded with hearing that he's bad that they hear this and they think, oh, look at him trying to lie about that and say it's not his agenda. Can't believe him. Yeah, definitely Kamala, I want to believe. And then that's the other thing, too, speaking of Kamala. Why did everybody so quickly just, like, adopt her as the front runner of the party? I don't understand that at all. It's like, for the party that's always talking about, our democracy is at stake, our democracy is at risk. Like, they quickly just allowed Kamala to come take over, and they're like, yep, we're behind her now. One day it's, oh, riding for Biden and all this. We're riding for Biden. Oh, we're Biden or die. To Biden to the end. Yeah, we want another term of Biden. They go from that to, okay, white guys for Harris. Yeah, Kamala. Yeah. And it's like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, do you not realize what just happened? Your party basically threw a coup, and you're that stupid that you're just all for it now? What I also don't get is Kamala's dumb. First off, she has no policies yet that she's listed. So it's like, what are you even supporting? You literally have nothing that you're supporting because she's offered nothing. Second, they keep trying to tout her like she's going to be something different. You're part of this current administration. You are not anything different. We already know what you're all about. You're about failure. You are Biden's VP. You are currently in that office. So what's going to change when you move up a seat? Hey, instead of in this office, I'm in this office now. Oh, yep, things are going to get much better now. No, they're not. That's like what I hear. Like, technically, obviously Biden is dead, and as VP, she should be enacting the 25th Amendment to boot him out, and she takes over. But why aren't they going to do that? Because they want to try to distance, or at least Kamala wants to try to distance herself as much as she can from Biden. That way, then his crappy policies can't be reflected on her, which means, she can try to just distance herself. If she goes out and does her own campaign and doesn't really acknowledge that she's still currently the VP and all this and just pretends she's her own front runner, then she's hoping that'll help her get votes and all this. If she kicks him out, then she has to acknowledge that, well, I was the VP, and everyone else has to acknowledge it too and can't just kind of try to forget. And then also, now all these crappy policies she has to take ownership for. And also, she gets a little bit of a period to prove that she's not going to change anything for the better. So then when it comes time for election, nobody's going to vote for her. So she's got to try to play coy and act like, oh, I don't know who Biden is. That way then she can distance herself and leave it so that all his crappy policies are his own problem. Even though she played a hand in it. Like, when she signed the stupid bill to add more debt to the national debt. It came down to a dead tie in the, the House or Senate? Probably Senate, yeah. And she was the deciding vote, and she voted yay and acted like it was so great. Oh, I'm going to vote yay. I'm an idiot. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to make fun of her, too, for being an idiot, but there's that, too. Always with her dumb cackling. Like, why do people see this and think, oh, it's so great? No, because they go on the stupid policies of joy. Oh, it's joy. Joy, brat, and all this other nonsense. I don't even know what brat is supposed to mean. But, like, the joy is just stupid. Who cares about the joy? What are you going to be pumped like that for a dumb presidential candidate? Oh, joy. No, you need somebody that's going to be strong and effective. You need somebody that's a solid leader who's going to take your country in the right direction and keep it at the forefront of everything and show dominance and assertion. Not, oh, I'm all about joy. Come see me. I'll give you a hug. Like, what? I don't need you to hug me. That's what I got family for, stupid. You need to hug your family, and that's it. Not all the random citizens of the country. You need to be focused on, here's my agenda. Boom. No, you don't have an agenda because your agenda would suck. It's, oh, I'm going to do exactly what Biden did and maybe steal a few things from Trump, like the no tax and tips, which is kind of ironic because no tax and tips, at least when Trump says it, you know it's legit. It would be no tax on tips. Where Harris, she says that. Now, if she wins and gets in office, which hopefully she does not, but her no tax and tips would be, okay, directly there's no tax and tips, but indirectly we're going to tax their pay higher because we know they're getting more money out of their tips. Also, you know, there'd be some other beat around the bush way, like, I don't know. I thought of something, but I forgot the other day. But it doesn't matter. My point is, her administration would find some beat around the bush way to still tax you more because you make tips. Where Trump would just be straight up, hey, no tax and tips. Hey, no tax and overtime. You know, there's no gimmick. It is what it is. He says that, and that's what it is. It's not, well, the normal tax bracket's going to get way higher to compensate for the lack of taxes on tips and overtime. No, everything would be the same, only a little bit better. And then the other annoying thing is how the Democrats and lefties and all this always try to call Trump fascist. Do they even know what fascist means? I don't even know why I asked that, because I know they don't. They don't know what fascist means. It's just a word that they love throwing around because it sounds bad. It sounds bad, and they think, ooh, yeah, we can get people confused. And then they'll hear this and go, oh my God, Trump is fascist? Ooh, I don't want to be affiliated with that. Ugh, I can't vote for him. I got to tell all my friends to vote for Kamala because she's communist. They don't say that, but she is a communist. She actually is something bad. She wants communism. I mean, she talks about it all the time. Not directly, obviously, because she can't. But indirectly, you know, she always says about how... I don't know, what was her latest line? She said something stupid like everybody should have an equal... I don't know. Everybody should have equal something. But the way she phrased it... See, how the country currently works is everybody has the equal opportunity. But I think she's phrased it as something like everybody should have equal means or something, which means that communism, because then it's all equal. But communism sucks because it's not equal in a good way, it's equal in a bad way. You know, if you're all making $1 an hour, hey, you're all making $1 an hour, it's equal. But is your life good because you're making $1 an hour? No, it's terrible. Unless everything becomes like a penny. But otherwise, if everything stayed the same it was, $1 an hour would suck. You'd be making nothing. You could work 120 hours a week and you'd still not be able to afford a single thing. But nope. Oh, what? Trump's fascist? Oh. You know, it's so dumb because it's like fascist is like Hitler. He had a fascist regime. And guess what? Fascism is considered far left. And that's what the Democrats are, especially nowadays. They're very far left. If anybody's fascist, it's them. But nope, Trump is. Because he wants his country to be awesome. And that means he's the second coming of Hitler. You know, a guy who had massive genocide, killed 11 million people, and wanted to have a supreme master race and all this weird psychotic stuff. That's exactly like Trump, you know, because wanting your country to be great and have low gas prices and fuel independence and everybody with a house and everybody with nice savings and the stock market doing great and secure borders and no world conflicts and all this, that's bad. Oh, why would you want that? That's Hitler. Ugh. It's so stupid. What's even dumber is there's been 2 wars that have broken out with Biden because he's so weak and worthless and incompetent. You know, there's the whole Israel situation and then the whole Ukraine situation. And because of these situations, the world literally is the closest it would ever have been to World War III. But nope, if Trump becomes president, then we will have World War III. Like, are you serious right now? If he becomes president, I should say when he becomes president, these conflicts will be over. Russia-Ukraine, done. And Israel-Hamas, done. They'll probably be done the same day, within hours of each other. But yeah, World War III. No, you weak mother effers are going to bring that on because you don't do anything to stifle the conflicts. You only make them worse. You add fuel to the fire. That's why Trump keeps having these assassination attempts. Because the stupid Democrats' rhetoric, keep calling him names, keep acting like he's terrible. I mean, you shouldn't watch The View, but if you do watch The View, that's all those dumb ladies talk about constantly. Trump's bad, Trump's bad, Trump's bad. Oh my God, Trump's bad, Trump's bad, Trump's bad. Shut up! Your president, Biden, is horrible. He's senile. He's destroyed the country. He's terrible. I mean, I wasn't alive. I wasn't alive during Carter's days, and I hear Carter sucked, but I don't know. I feel it's a very strong contender. Like, they're tied. Carter might actually barely be winning over Biden for worst president. I don't know. Carter might actually still be winning because he did have that weird gas rationing that they had to do. So he's barely worse, but he's found somebody that's, you know, a contender for him. He's not, like, super far gone like he used to be anymore. But yeah. So it's just, I don't know, it's just, politics nowadays is insane. And it keeps feeling like the elections are getting more and more significant. Like 2016 felt significant because it was like, well, we can't have Hillary win, she'd be horrible. But it wasn't that severe. It was like, well, I guess if she wins, whatever. Bill was president before, hopefully he can coach her through it and she'll do fine. But you knew that her weird agendas would suck. You know that she's got the, I don't know, the memes or the conspiracy theories, or maybe it's just real about how she kills people in her way and all this. So it's like, I don't know if I want that as president. But then Trump won, so you didn't have to worry about it. Great option won, so problem averted. Then it was Trump versus Biden, and it seemed like, oh yeah, this is going to be a surefire thing. Biden's not going to win. The guy's brain dead. He can't even come up with real English words. Like, how's this guy going to win? And yet somehow he won. Wonder how. Is it because it's called rigged? I don't know. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or whatever with that, but let's be real. There's tons of evidence proving that there's a lot of suspicious activity going on. Like, you know, the weird drops at 3 in the morning where tons of ballots were just dropped off at 3 in the morning. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's normal. Right in the middle of the night when, like, most people aren't active. Yeah, that makes sense. Or when they would board up the windows when they were counting votes and stuff. Oh, yeah, that's not suspicious. Or, you know, that super famous graph where it showed Democrats were losing, and then all of a sudden there's just a straight line, huge bump straight up, and then now they're winning. Oh, yeah, because that seems totally legit. You know, just out of nowhere, you get a massive boost in votes. Yup, that seems real. But okay, fine, dickhead won. And at first it was like, well, in a way, at least there's the pandemic, so we can't screw up things too much, because he's got to focus on that. But then the pandemic ended, and then it was like, okay, well, now we just got a real failure of a president, so that's cool. And now it's like, oh my God, like, this is super critical. It's literally Trump wins, and then hopefully the country can be restored, and then hopefully Republicans just keep winning after that. Or it's Kamala wins, and that's basically it for the country. We are not going to have a defined country anymore. We're going to have wide open borders, tons of immigrants coming in, tons of crime just spiking, massive collapse. It's going to be like Purge in real life every day, not just one day a year, every day here in this country. It's also going to be, you know, economic collapse for the whole world. And it's going to be an installation of communism in this country and free speech. Basically, the Constitution is just going to be, there's going to be an attempt to, like, get rid of it more or less, because they're going to try to throttle free speech and take away guns and put restrictions on guns and put restrictions on free speech, just like the nonsense in California that stupid Newsom's doing. Oh, during election cycles, you can't make memes. Bro, memes are jokes, okay? It's comedy. It's a way to, you know, I don't know, make light of a stressful situation or whatever. Like, relax. I'm going to call it a crime because people make a meme. But that'll be the whole country. It won't just be California. It'll be the whole country. And, yeah, this country, if Kamala wins, it's going to be bad. Yeah, a lot of the people that just casually watch TV, they don't know that. They don't see it because they just think, oh, yeah, well, Trump's terrible, so we need Kamala to win. But it's like, no, you need Trump to win. He's literally the only option. If you want to talk about democracy and all this, like they always do, it's Trump is democracy, Kamala is no more country. So, you know what I mean? So with no more country, not only do you not have democracy, you have nothing. It's just destroyed, dead, killed, and it's like, yeah, way to go, Democrats, you mother effing idiots. I don't know. On one hand, I feel confident that Trump should be able to win because there is a lot that I see that's solid. You know what I mean? You see his rallies, they're always, like, I don't want to say sold out, but I'm pretty sure they're free. So they're always packed out, and it's always just like, okay, yeah, we should be fine. You know, then you go on a video on YouTube, and there's just tons of support. You know, you also look at YouTubers. I look at, like, Ben Shapiro. He's got 7.02 million subscribers. I look at, who else? I don't know. There's a bunch of them, though, that have a lot of subscribers. I'm like, well, that means that's a lot of conservative people, which means that's a lot of people that would support Trump. So, and then you try to look at, like, lefty-leaning outlets, and they're not as popular. So it's like, okay, well, fundamentally, that would be somebody that would be voting for Kamala, which means less Kamala people, more Trump people, he should be able to win, right? I don't know. They cheated with Biden, though, so. And, like, I don't know, you look at the polls, and I know polls don't mean anything, because remember, back with Hillary, the polls were, like, wildly in her favor, and who lost? So, but if you take a look at the polls, a lot of them are saying that he's in the lead, which he should be. He should be crushing it, though. Like, the leads he has are, like, by 6 points, and it's like, all right, that's decent, but, geez, his leads should be, like, 20 points. He's going up against a moron. She's currently part of the problem. Like, I don't know why people are forgetting this. Just like, oh yeah, Kamala, oh, you were the lowest rated VP 2 weeks ago, but now I love you. Oh, your party just threw a coup against the front runner and installed you. Oh my God, so much democracy. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. He just needs to win, and then it just needs to, like, steamroll. You know, he wins, then the next 2 election cycles is DeSantis. Then the next 2 after that can be Ramaswamy. Then the next 2 after that could be some new front runner, maybe even me. It sounds like a joke, but I'm mildly serious. I do want to get into politics when my daughter's older. Who knows? Maybe I can even get her to get into it with me, and it'll be like a cool little thing that we do together. But in my local town, that's where I want to start, and maybe become the mayor of my town. My town is tiny, so I figure being the mayor should be pretty easy. Jeez, not much to do. You know? Okay. Oh, jeez. That seems a bit random. I'm doing this video and I'm yelling okay, but that's because I usually do these when I'm driving, and I'm at a light. I'm totally fine, but the idiot next to me, so there's 2 lanes plus the 3rd lane for people turning. It's at a Walmart, and so the arrow for the Walmart lane turned. Well, the idiot in the lane next to me isn't paying attention, and he went with the arrow light, but he's going straight. He's not turning. He just sees those, oh, I see green, so that must mean I should go too, even though his light is still red and mine is still red. Well, now he's driving straight like an idiot, and there's obviously on the other side of the road, like coming at us, if you will, there's also an arrow, and that's for the people that get on the highway. Well, this dickhead is cruising right along and almost smashed into the car that's trying to get on the highway, and it's just like, oh, I'm watching this, and I'm like, seriously? Why are the both of them not paying attention? I know that the one turning to get on the highway is in the right, so if they got hit, this idiot would be totally at fault, but still, it's just like, why are you not slowing down? You don't see this idiot coming at you, and then I'm looking at this other idiot like, why are you not slowing down either, you retard? Oh, I don't know why people don't know how to drive. If everyone drove like me, there'd be absolutely no problems. I don't want to try to toot my own horn or anything, but I drive very well. I pay attention. I pay attention to my surroundings in front of me and back of me, next to me. I go the speed limits. At the highway, I cruise at 67 miles an hour. Cruise, meaning cruise control. I'm locked down on a set speed. You know? Yeah, I might make these stupid videos, but I'm still fully paying attention to the road. I'm holding my phone up to my face while I'm talking. I'm not, like, doing anything dumb, distracting myself. I preset this before I get driving so that then the screen is ready to go when I record this backdrop and I just talk over it. Like, oh, people are idiots. Anyways, now I lost my train of thought, whatever I was trying to say about, what was I talking about? Kamala, how she sucks. Trump. Oh, yeah. My political aspirations. So, yeah, I figure my town's small, should be easy to run. And then who knows? Maybe I can move up from there, get into the House of Reps or something, and then move up. My end goal really is I just want to be the governor of my state someday. I don't have to be president. I mean, that would be cool. Maybe I can tear it up as governor, do really good. Like DeSantis, he has a reputation for being a pretty good governor, so maybe someday that could be me, and then that would help me for running for president. Who knows? But that's kind of really high order goals, you know what I mean? It's literally 1 in, 300, 400 million? What's the population of our country? So, you know, at least the governor, it's a lot better odds. It's still 1 in, but it's 1 in whatever the population of my state is. So, anyways, I guess that's it, since I practically lost my train of thought, and I was trying to pad the time by just rambling on a little bit. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Politics nowadays are absolutely insane with everything that they have going on, and it's just, there's so much misleading going on, like with the media. You know, they need to be more honest, and they're not. And that's just what makes all these problems. They make up narratives, and people who don't know, well, they don't know. So they trust a false narrative. And yeah, now we're in the situation that we're in. If everybody was informed, it would be an absolute landslide. Trump would completely dominate, win. He'd have, like, all the electoral votes. I don't know how many they're all total, but he'd have them all, because they'd be like, why do I want to vote for Democrats? Why do I want to vote for Kamala? She was a terrible VP that they just installed in the front-runner position. I don't want that. But they get blindsided, they get confused because they're blindsided, and boom. Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Maybe I'll be back with part 2 if I can reorganize my thoughts tonight. And yeah, until then, or whatever comes next, I said see ya.